Hello, welcome back to Canadian Disc Golf Productions. Today we are watching again for the second year in a row the SAW, so the Summer at Winter Open. I am Chris Brown here with
Galen Naidu-Harris, and yeah, we were just going back and forth. I was misinformed about what the S at W meant. I heard Showdown at Winter Farms. Prior to that, I heard what you heard this summer, but nah.
Let's get some sponsors here. Meal in a Jar, The Crew Real Estate, Proper Floors, Disc Golf Days, and Brantford, Ontario. Thank you for sponsoring this event. This event had lots of sponsors. Patrick does a lot of work to get this tournament running, get Disc Golf Days running, does all the thing he does.
Yeah, we love to see it. Cam's so excited he's trying to do a cannonball into this small pond here. And James Duong looking up into the air at those sponsor graphics, I'm sure, as well.
They're floating through the air right now.
Must be
weird. Don't know how he did it.
And Jake Voskamp, fresh off of a win at the Forefathers Open in Newcastle. I don't know how fresh. I think this is the weekend after, maybe 2 weekends after. Oh, and look at this handsome young man, Chris Brown, out of Burlington, Ontario.
That's me.
That is you.
Hole 1, sponsored by The Crew Realty. Thank you very much.
This is a pretty formidable starting hole, at least certainly for somebody of my skill. 677 feet. They do give you a par 5, which is nice, but OB on the right, somewhere you don't want to be on the left if you saw off too early getting those woods, so nothing easy to start. Yeah,
if this hole was somewhere in the middle, you'd see a lot more people attacking, but as the first hole, you just want to get a safe hyzer out there. It was a pretty calm day as far as
it doesn't look that bad. It can be windy out here at times, but it looks all right today.
Yeah, and this is the only time I've ever played this hole. It was not a ridiculous headwind.
Right.
So I didn't know what to do exactly. But that's a safe play. The second shot puts him laying up right next to the stairs out there. Probably another full throw 380 up the hill. At least that's what it plays. It's probably only like 200.
I was gonna say probably a little shorter, but plays about that for sure. Yeah.
James coming up a little bit shorter, but still just fine.
Yeah, and I think your first shot's just always gonna be a placement shot here. I mean, like there's 677 feet. That's pretty friggin' far. I don't think there are many players attacking that mouth directly. Maybe Jake's about to prove me wrong.
Still just a nice...
Still a crush, but yeah, the depth perception...
that's a layup for Jake.
Oh my god.
With all of his power.
You guys are sick. I forget how good all the players in MPO are until I commentate on some of your footage or hang out with you for a while.
The biggest mistake you can do is just turning it over, so keep it in the hill.
Yep.
I want to come out a little early and low, but honestly, the mistake you want to make.
For sure. I just feel like stable hyzer to slight flip and just keep it in the middle there. And I'm curious now to see if some of our competitors try and go over the top or if some are skipping. I'd like to see how they attack this because that foliage there gets up pretty high if you're there in person.
James told me before he threw this is I'm not going anywhere near the trees.
I can tell.
He's like
not at all.
The biggest mistake you can make is trying to chew off too much and just getting caught up early. There is nothing.
100%. I mean, I was just saying the par is generous, but everybody's playing the same course, and so the par is a little less consequential. What is consequential is how you attack it, and if you push too hard, there are so many places you can get into trouble here. So smart to not push too hard. I like that. That looks great. That looks in and up the mouth, which is exactly what you want after 2 if you can get there.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't?
No,
okay. Well, it looked great.
Yeah, it looked great. I thought it was good, and came up I was about 10 feet too early or 5 feet too early, and had a lot of difficulty, but we'll see.
Yeah, don't spoil things for the viewers. We just got here. Don't tell us how it's going to go.
Yeah, if you won't be able to see me in the bush, so I better explain now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cam laying up there on the short side of the mouth.
And Jake is getting aggressive with the high hyzer. That one I was about to say also looks good, but I was just proven wrong about yours, so I'm not going to make any pronouncements yet.
His was good. It landed short, but in the middle of the mouth up there. Jump putt looking at the 3.
Yeah, I think. Oh my God, James, off the top band.
You guys don't know how difficult this shot is.
It's insane with that ceiling there. Oh my God.
Uphill with his banana P2. Uphill through a low ceiling. And still some difficulty near the basket.
And also, I mean, if you put too much power on it, it's going to keep going up and hit something high. Like the distance, the angle control. It was a really impressive shot.
Yeah, he hit the band. I don't know. I can't remember how close he was after that. As Cam kind of leaves that a little short, but that's the common miss.
Looked like a nice sort of skippy. Well, don't be too hard on yourself. That's not a bad spot to be. It's not perfect, but you made it sound like you're in Narnia. You're 10 feet off.
Yeah, it wasn't. It would have been much better if I just played it safe, but
Sure.
you just hole one. You want to be greedy.
Yeah.
This is where Jake's second shot got to an absolute crush
That's
into
insane.
the trees. A look at the 3.
I was gonna say, I think a lot of our competitors are gonna be happy with 4s today. 3 is gonna be a really excellent result. I think there's gonna be, I shouldn't say plenty short field MPO, but there will be definitely some 5s here, I would think as well.
Speak of the devil, and it comes. So the problem is with this one is behind the basket it drops off through the trees.
Yeah, and there's trees pretty close as well. It drops off, and you have trees, bushes, all that within, I would say, 10, 12 feet?
Not even, it's right there. And the thing is if you roll down the hill, you could be completely blocked coming back at the basket.
Yeah, and you're not completely blocked, but I mean, you didn't miss by much, and you are still fighting through branches to get back there. And a nice putt to finish it off.
Yeah.
So how did this one do in the context of the rest of the holes today?
This was the second easiest hole in the MPO field. As you can see, if you just throw 3 decent shots, you're tapping in your 4.
Sure. Yeah,
So,
I'm just looking at the same thing you are now, a 4-4-6. That checks out. I was thinking some 4s, some 5s, maybe some 3s, maybe something higher, but not likely. I think this it'd be really interesting how we'd look at this if it was a really tough par 4 instead of a relatively soft par 5.
I think top par 4 is fine, but it is a par 5 and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure.
Hole 2, sponsored by Disc Golf Days Group Events, Patrick's own company for corporate
Nice.
events
I didn't know
and
that.
disc golf things.
I sort of love this look. I hate how my results always are thrown off the tee, but you go out and you have this really sharp dog leg left as soon as you get out of the trees. So I think the standard play is to throw a very stable to overstable disc on hyzer and just try and get it through that gap. You're nodding your head at, or you're shaking your head at me. That's my play. Is I just try and get out with a hyzer into the grass.
So, in my opinion, you don't want to hyzer at all. You just want to go as straight as possible, as straight as possible. If as soon as you start hyzering, you bring the trees into play. But we're seeing
those white stakes with the OB.
Honestly,
are you not worried about going out of bounds as soon as you're out? That's my concern.
I would take OB long in the OB than hitting a tree early left side.
That's true.
And then having to pitch to where my OB long.
One thing I'm also not thinking about is I think I've played shorts here more than longs.
Yeah.
And I was accounting for an additional, bump of distance here, but it's further back than I was thinking. But I still think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I still think I'd be looking at like a more stable to overstable disc, even if I'm throwing it straighter and flatter from back here versus more of a hyzer from up on the short tee pad.
Yeah. See, that is too inside from James. It's not.
For sure. Yeah,
you
even saw it hit one of those trees there. Yeah.
The idea is just throw it straight. It's probably, I would say it's probably pretty close to 280 feet.
Yeah.
To get to the OB, so we're all throwing putters here for the most part on this card, probably most of the MPO field. So Jake comes up early. Not a bad kick.
No,
could be worse.
No, definitely. Yeah, if you're kicking back into the fairway, you're not too upset about that.
So it's just about hitting the gap, and it's so tough because it is slippery. This day was projected to be rain.
Ooh.
All day with thunderstorms and everything like that, and
oh yeah, that's right. This was this weekend. This was the 24th. I actually had a day of disc golf planned as well, and was expecting awful weather. And ours turned out okay. How was it in Brantford?
Barely got any rain at all, but the heat kicked up to extra gear. The humidity was insane.
Yeah, we had the same experience. I was playing in Niagara. We were playing just the Ace Place a couple of times, and we were expecting to get poured on. We survived.
Had to break out a flex forehand for this bad boy.
Yeah, since when do you throw flex forehands?
Since this exact moment, because it was a play.
Oh my god. Yeah. And super sick too.
Yeah.
That's got to be at most at what, Circle's Edge?
Yeah, it was just past Circle's Edge.
Wow.
I was really happy with that shot.
That was incredible, yeah. As well you should be.
All my card was really supportive of it because they all know I don't throw forehands.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I saw you lining one up and I was like, let's see how this goes. But you clearly been putting the work in.
Yeah. James
trying something similar. He saw how good yours went and he said, I can do that. And he can, but it just didn't work out that way this time.
He was a lot more pinched off than I was, and Cam even more so playing the layup here.
Yep. Yeah, I think looking at where Cam was, that was almost the only play there.
He could have tried to go aggressive, but it just doesn't seem like the right move at that exact moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can always do whatever the hell you want, but the only smart play, it seemed like, is what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a layup and collect the 4.
Just never thought I would throw.
This is Jake landed inbounds here, so this is his third shot.
That's great.
Yeah,
great scramble given where he was off the tee. And perfect distance control not to go out of bounds there as well.
James for his 4 from OB.
Oh, good bid. Just a little left.
So I'm just outside circle here, I'd say.
Yep. Oh, and just off the cage.
Yeah.
Gave it
early round, just not committing to the putt right now.
Yeah, and the putt's not going to be warmed up yet, hole 2. But gave it an honest bid.
So yeah, everyone had their umbrellas, their raincoats, everything ready for rain. Everyone was just like anticipating a wet, sloggy day. But the tee pads are still damp from the rain the night before, so it's a little hard to get grip in certain things.
Sure, and you know the added factor. I mean, you can see everybody carrying their towels. Sometimes folks will anyway, but especially in like a dewy, rainy situation, it's just like an added like, oh my god, I had to dry my disc after every shot. This is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to fill up your bags of towels and stuff like that, and you just don't leave yourself enough room for snacks and water, so then the heat gets to you.
It's rude.
No 3s on that hole for the day. No, all best he got was a 4. Yeah,
I mean, a challenging hole, but I'm not super shocked. It's tough. In hole 3, we're going to thank Fast Signs Brantford for sponsoring as we look at our 239-foot hole with corn stalks from last fall that are the ghosts of those corn stalks we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I think this one actually is 273 feet. The U-Disc might have it wrong.
Yeah, U-Disc I've found, they do their best, but sometimes there's a little miscalibration there.
Yeah, the PDJ set has it 273, which I think is accurate.
That looks more accurate looking at where you folks are. Yeah.
OB right up the hill, OB left in the reeds, so a forehand just plays so well into this basket.
Yeah, even with the OB on both sides, I do like the play where you're trying to skip something into the hill as opposed to letting it fade out with the hill towards the reeds. So turnovers, forehands make sense.
That is...
Jake executing very well. Yeah, that looks like it's almost in the bullseye if it landed where I think it did.
Yeah, this one's always deceiving because you can't see the base of the basket from the tee pads. You can't tell if you're parked 40 feet long 100%. or 30 feet short. So
yep. So we were just talking about how you don't throw a ton of forehands. You looking at a turnover here, or a flat shot, a little bit of a hyzer?
It's just a flat shot. I'm hoping it'll drift a little bit. It's just a praxis. So
so that makes perfect sense. Just blast a praxis, hope that it drifts a little to the right as they do.
Just keep it in bounds. Worst thing you can do is throw it OB when it's a 270 foot.
100%. Yeah. What plastic do you throw your praxis in? The clear.
That one was a clear one.
Yeah. Ethos.
Yeah. That was one of the King's Forest lands I got it from.
Nice.
Mr. Pham himself.
Oh, we Pham. A man we all know and love. And if you don't, you should. Cam lining up a putt looks like maybe 25 to 30. And just comes up a little low off the bottom of the cage. And he's just like strutting his stuff back there. Knows he's on camera. I love it.
That's how he is all the time. Doesn't have to be a camera there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only played with him a handful of times. Like I don't think I've even played in his card, but when I've been around him, he definitely, it's not like he's got like a persona. He just seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Nice cash on the putt there, Chris.
Thank you. That one felt good after missing the last one low.
For sure. It doesn't feel quite like a must get, but like an almost must get.
Yeah, it is a must get. It's the third easiest hole on the day, playing just under half a stroke under par. It is must get as you get out here.
No, I'm just thinking with the out of bounds is a little tighter. But again, I'm looking at my, MA2 pushing MA1 reality, not your reality playing MPO here. So yeah, I mean, this feels like a must get for sure. Yeah, put it in that context.
Yeah, just doing good things. Jake was parked like under the basket.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And on to hole 4.
Sponsored by Living in Brantford. Thank you, Brantford, for supporting this course in disc golf.
Thank you, Brantford, for living. We've got 271 feet uphill. I believe that cornfield line is out of bounds. No OB on the left, but you don't want to be there. If you hyzer out too hard and skip in, it's pretty dense there. If you go long, same deal. But it sort of flares out towards the end, so it's attackable.
Yeah,
271. I feel like this is playing maybe 310, 315.
Yeah, this one's 293, and it's probably playing pretty close to 370 feet. Not even lying to you. It is everything you have up this hill.
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever the distance is, give it another 40, 50 at least.
At least, like I'm going a wraith here. This is a flippy wraith.
Yeah, so you're blasting that then.
Yeah. Like, I'm not throwing it full power because I want to get control. So
Sure, but you are disking up for sure.
Yeah, like I've learned my lesson on this one, trying to go slower discs, and it just never gets to the basket.
Yeah, I've had the same experience from the short tee pads even. I'll always go putter and go, oh no,
yeah,
this is not enough. For me anyway. Looked like that might have hazarded a bit, but should be in the clear, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it was not bad. Just, again, away from the OB, which is...
That's the biggest part.
The biggest part.
100%.
This is the common play. The highs are here. I just don't know. Like, you have to commit so much to over the OB and so much power to get it there that I just don't personally like.
Yeah, it's what I would default to, but I'd actually almost like firing something flippy a little bit. Oh no, and that's why you don't want to do that. I was gonna say I'd almost want to fire something flippy a little bit further left and let it drift to the right. So if it does go OB, it goes OB late instead of early like this.
That's the way I played it too, and that's what James was trying as well. He just kind of, again, trying to get full power on the disc, pulls it a bit, maybe slipped on the tee pad. It's hard to say. That's unlike James to miss like that though. So
agreed, but it happens to the best of us.
Oh, his forehand gets away from him too.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunate, but still got to look at it. I think the camera is not necessarily doing this distance justice, though. No, long and uphill. Stepping. This is. Oh my God! He's still catching. I was gonna say this is gonna be tough to make, and then he makes it.
what a force save though!
Yeah, look how far he's walking up. That's easily circle, like mid to late circle 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was probably. I'll give him a solid.
He's got to be at least 400 feet away there.
At least 400, probably closer to 50.
Great step putt from 600 feet on the next fair. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a long putt, and that was great. Yeah. It's nice to see him catch that.
I had to double check to make sure this wasn't OB where I was.
Apparently it's private property, but no, I don't think it's out of bounds,
Yeah, I think there may have been a fence there that would have been private thing, but not the low putt for me. That one was just outside circle as well. Camera just does not give you the distance you feel like you deserve. Like, these are far putts.
Yep. You always, whenever you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, look how close I was. And then you think back to the moment and it's like, oh no, never mind. That was like 20 feet further than it looks.
Yeah.
I always love taking a look at that, like, used car lot or auction lot or whatever it is behind. There's like thousands of cars there.
It might be a scrap yard. I don't know. There are so many cars. You can see them on the left side of the screen, and they go all the way to the right side and out.
Oh, Cam too with an unfortunate putt.
3 out of the after James makes his big 50-footer.
Probably saw a nice Beamer over there, and he's just distracted. Wasn't thinking about disc golf, just what car he was going to buy.
Man, James just big putted us all.
Yep, nothing you can do.
What a view, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that Marvel putter too. The way it looked in that light, it's pretty.
Only 2 2s on the day. That was surprising.
I'm surprised to hear that. Yeah,
it's not hard. Like, you can see all three out of the 4 of us were up there for a circle's edge putt. And unfortunately, none of us cashed it. But
is what it is. You'd expect to have looks and some people to cash them.
Hole 5, sponsored by Meal in a Jar, and perfect fitting hole because that is as tight as you can get coming down this. Tight as you can get coming down this fairway here. It is unique.
Yeah, it's one of the most interesting holes that I've played. Is it's straight downhill and it's very tight, and it feels like there's almost no release with that downhill being part of it. That feels perfect. So you have to sort of make something work, and Jake does. That little forehand out the outside worked out great for him. It looks like.
Yeah. So I used to jump putt down the left hand side and just ante it in the whole way, but a branch has dropped over the tee pad, so you can't jump putt that way.
Yeah, I usually go for a forehand up the middle with something that's not super over or understable, so like something more neutral, like a Beatenberg or like a New Praxis or something like that. But even that, like, you catch the wrong branch or you release a little bit early, like Cam there, and you find yourself in trouble.
I think that was a little late. I think he hit the tree on the left.
I thought he caught the one on the right.
No, but either way, that gap is really tiny, and you're trying to feather it through.
Yeah, it's a really touchy shot, and nothing really feels perfect for it. I've seen a couple of these forehand hyzers, though. It does seem like the best of the unfortunately limited plays.
It's a safe play, as Cam throws a nice forehand up here that skips off the... What do you call that? Mulch? No, not mulch. The wood chips. Skips off the wood chips to like 40 feet.
Yep. No. I think wood chips still count as mulch.
Sure.
It's like one of those questions in like your high school textbook where it was like, are all A's B's, but are all B's A's or whatever? All B's are C's? Like, I don't know if all mulch is wood chips or if all wood chips are mulch or...
Look where
he took a big old skip because he landed right underneath the basket.
Right under the basket. Wow. This is the skip. Yeah. Unfortunate for Cam as he then does not make the comebacker.
Yeah, it's tough.
Tapping in his 4, not so bad. This is where my
damn you mulch
jump putt got to. I'm not too unhappy with it, but it is blocked.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to find a look there, but I mean, I don't think you're super unhappy carding a 3 here. If you kick off early or something, this can get to a big number. again with this tight gap and giving it an honest bid.
It's 3 cages for me in 4 holes. Just need to get it up a little higher.
Just a little higher, yeah.
Commenting on myself is so frustrating. Now I'm about to miss a putt.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had it be easy when I've had to commentate on my own stuff, because I had one round where I played well relative to how good I was. So I was like, great, everything just went well. I can talk about how good I was. And I had one where I was awful, and I was like, great, I can just talk about how bad I was. But it's never fun. So I shouldn't say not fun, but it's weird. You don't overanalyze everything.
Yeah, only a couple birdies on that 4 to be precise. That's
and on to hole 6, and we have the Paul Macbeth Foundation to thank for sponsoring this hole. A high-profile sponsor. You love to see it, making an investment in Ontario disc golf.
Yeah, Patrick's company.
Yeah, they have a partnership,
has
right?
a partnership
That's
now with
right.
Paul Macbeth Foundation, so they're
That's
helping
wonderful.
each other out. This year the grass has grown in, so you can see the OB line a little better. Last year was a little frustrating not knowing if you're inbounds or OB, but now you can clearly see, and I think they made it bigger.
Oh, it looks like they left like a ring of long grass there.
I like
yeah,
it.
That's
I like
great.
it a lot. Although you're throwing out this like 2 foot by 2 foot tee pad.
The tee pad here is smaller, right?
Yeah, it's like a 2 foot by 2 foot tee pad, and
ace run. I mean,
it's
231. You're probably gonna want to have a bit of a
231 again. It's not accurate. I'm wondering if we
U-disc.
I'm wondering if we got the short layout off U-disc.
Could be. Whatever it is, it's in range for all of you to be giving it a good bid. We'll say that.
Yep. And that just came out so low.
Skip.
No.
Skip for him.
You
No.
It was-
Depth perception. I was like, oh, if it skips, it can get there.
It was 40. I was throwing that high and soft, and I threw it low and soft.
I find that's
and James throws it high and hard, and
just get back.
He
get back.
Out of his hand.
Hey,
and he's in bounds.
I mean, love you, James, but I can see why he would hate that out of his hand. But it made it back in bounds. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely a hole you want to get. Super easy in my opinion, but I made a mistake, and mistakes happen, and we're okay with it. We move on.
Sort of reminds me of hole 14, shorts to yellows at Brawny. Just you got your, assuming you're not laying up, you've got your island. You're giving it a bid. It's not too far. It's in range for all of you. Yeah, and nice bid there, but just a little low.
It's far. It's like a 60-foot drop zone.
Yeah, it's not close.
So it'd be a miracle if you made it. And just trying to get your.
I haven't seen anybody cash it.
Mm-hmm. It was James from his
lucky
drive.
Yeah,
does not capitalize on it, but also does not take the penalty. So not so bad.
No. Yeah, I'd expect there'd be a fair number of 2s here, but I think there'll be a fair number of 3s as well. And with OB, a fair number of 4s, so I don't think you're super upset. Like, you're not losing a stroke to the field with a 3.
Oddly enough, it looks like it's an even split of people making the birdies and people missing the island. So
love it.
I'm surprised to see. I think it's just deceptively hard because 270 feet, or sorry, whatever the distance is. It's one of those weird distances where you can't throw full power for our division.
Sure,
anyways.
100%. Yeah. So you're choosing a disc or a power level you're not fully comfortable with.
Hole 7 was sponsored by HP. Paul McCarthy, thank you. HP, I think that's
computers or the sauce. One never knows.
I think it's the computers, but I think there's a particular thing. This hole,
this one plays pretty straightforward. I don't think there's any OB here, is there?
Oh, yes.
There is.
So
the river is OB, but is there anything else?
The river is OB. It's what it said in the caddy book, but they painted a line.
So there's a painted line like on the shore, like on the shore almost.
On the shore at the long grass.
Oh, wow.
So you have a very
shore wasn't the right word, but I was still thinking if it's at the long grass, I thought you had plenty more space than that.
Yeah,
wow.
So it was definitely HB, not the sauce.
Definitely Hewlett Packard.
Yes.
I think.
As Cam leaves that really close. At this point, we had no idea that was OB.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that I've ever played with that with a painted OB line there.
And we read the thing and it said creek, so we figured it was creek.
Yep. Well, and with that being the case, this plays very straightforward. I would say that what you all are doing and taking forehands up the left side, or a turnover in your case, makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Let something, use all the airspace you have, let it finish to the right. Yeah. But I wonder if knowing exactly where the OB line was would, not necessarily change the type of shot. I think you'd all still be throwing turnovers or forehands, but change, maybe the stability or the way in which you attack it, the release angle, things like that. I know I would be thinking different if I knew I didn't have that that creek to work with.
So James, we got up there, we saw the line, and we played a revisional, but we had to take this one. It has the OB, the actual OB. and he throws it in.
Yeah, throws it in though. So I mean, damn.
So this was us discussing how, as he throws in this, that was like 80. That was like 80 feet.
That's a big old throw in.
James got 3 plastic playbacks so far already. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's uncalled for.
So we played a couple provisionals, one from James and also one from Cam, as if he was, because we didn't know how the wording was, whether the creek or the thing. So
sure. Why? So Cam was in bounds the line though, wasn't he?
He was, but he wanted to take his meter, so we played one with it, one without it.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
And so.
Well, as Bill Nye would say, now I'm
just gonna say it. That was actually the wrong clip. That was playing it as if it wasn't OB. He took his meter, then caged it.
Oh,
so he's actually that was with the meter. The one that he took properly, he caged. So he actually took a 3 on that hole and not a 2, unfortunately.
Got it. It's no fun.
Yeah.
Well, onwards and upwards to hole 8, sponsored by the CDPG. I'm not sure what that acronym stands for, but sounds like something I would want to be involved with. Sounds cool. Sounds exciting. This hole is.
You know what? I think that one might be us. The Canadian Disc Golf Productions.
But where's the G?
You know what? I'm not going to question things.
All right, that's fair. All right, go.
Thank you, us.
Thank you, us.
Wally, in that case.
Yeah. Thank you, us and Wally. This one feels like it should be straightforward, but can get a little touchy. There's so many of those little trees. Even if you're throwing, like, whatever your path you take, you sort of ante into it, or you try and go a little high and to the right and let it fade in. There's just enough branches there that you can get yourself in a little bit of trouble no matter what line you take.
I think this is the preferred line, is that floaty putter straight at the basket and either catch a lucky limb or just come down nicely near the basket. But it's a difficult hole.
Yeah, I'm sort of thinking, we were just talking about how a Praxis will sort of drift left to right. I think that's what I'd be thinking here.
Exactly. This looks perfect.
Yeah, looks great.
But he gets a little unlucky catching the tree.
Yeah, just a little tree touch.
It's actually 290. Look at it, 292 feet. So it's a full throw.
Yeah, and that is that Praxis you're lining up, eh?
Yep.
See? Yep. I know what I'm talking about every once in a while.
But now we know that the grass line is the OB line, so everyone pulling it a little safer.
The grass line is OB for this hole as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're definitely not going to want to, you're not going to want to go with like a stable or overstable putter on flex line. You're going to want to keep it safe.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So forcing everybody a little bit safer than they maybe otherwise be.
For sure.
I should have looked at it, but if honestly, no, not with these wood tee pads that they have, like wood planks and stuff like that, hard to throw off. I was thinking, like, why didn't I just throw a thumber at this? But with that wood tee pad, I don't think I'd want to risk the slip.
Not ideal, yeah, for that shot.
James giving it a run from distance after building up his confidence
it's like a bid for what, his 4th plastic playback?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, after 2 out of the last 4 holes throwing in a long putt, and I don't blame him for giving that one a run.
Yeah, of course. I love a day like that when you sort of build your confidence up with some nice long putts or throw-ins, and you feel like you can run anything and feel safe about it.
Yeah, none of us got lucky. None of us got lucky through the trees, or maybe we just didn't throw good enough shots through the trees.
No, I'm blaming the luck. All got limbs and whatever, and... Yeah, I blame the trees.
1-2 on the day. Chris Tao.
Nice. I'm surprised. This is another one where, I wouldn't expect to see like a million 2s, but yeah, I would expect it to play a little bit easier than just a single 2.
Yeah, it's just those trees at the end. You kind of got to get lucky.
And it's tough because even if you're inside the circle, you're not guaranteed a clean look at the basket by any stretch. Those branches hang so low, you're almost always taking a knee. I get it.
It's just the luck factor of getting through the trees at the end and getting it high enough and trusting to come down and everything. It's a tough shot. For sure. I've never once considered that hole to be a gimme.
Yep. Totally valid.
Hole 9, sponsored by True North. Our disc golf store friends in Brantford, nearby here.
Love it. I've dropped many a dollar on many a disc in their store. Great selection. Go check them out if you're in the area for sure. Yeah.
Love just flipping through the discs, fingering through the discs.
Oh yeah. Anytime I'm in Brantford, I'm like, I'm just gonna go in there for 10 minutes and maybe buy 1 disc if I have to, and I'll leave an armful. This is really tough from the long tee. I've only played it from back here a handful of times, but it is a serious pump. And is it playing as a par 3 today from here?
It is not. It is not playing from a par 3. It is playing as a par 4.
Thank goodness.
It says 49, but I'm pretty sure I ranged it at 500. So
I was gonna say, I think I had somebody range it when I was on, and they had something similar where you just was saying high 4s, and it felt like it was definitely more than 5. But with that OB on the right and that tree line on the left, like it's such a tight landing zone. It's crazy.
The tree line on the left is also OB.
Oh, it's playing OB
now
today.
You got OB
My
left,
goodness.
OB right. Honestly, it might as well be OB if you're going left, because once you go down there, it's almost impossible to get out. So just make it OB and give you your stroke from where it went in.
I feel like for me though, that definitely would change my play, because I would typically want to try and play something. Shot. There's almost a double penalty. Or no, I guess you're pulling it back. Never mind. I'm just being, just my brain's not firing. I was gonna say, because you're fighting out of there and it's an OB line, but no, you just pull it back to the line.
Definitely.
So then this makes sense as sort of like a standard play, like a hyzer with a little flip and let it come back.
Yeah, at our level, this is a pretty standard shot. Nobody's going for too much. No one's going for too greedy.
I can tell
nobody's
like
all in the same spot, making a full circle there.
Yeah,
you can see we all in the pretty close to the same spot. This is close to that OB line.
Looks like it checked up. Tough to tell for sure. I love Cam's shirt. It's like a cross between like a Rockstar can and a can of Mountain Dew in like the best possible way. Oh, and a buttery smooth forehand sit.
Smart play there, just pulling in the hillside.
100%.
Jake looking to follow.
It's always nice when the player before you throws the shot you want and throws it well, so you just get to follow their vapor trail.
Pulls that one over a little bit.
Don't know if that's gotten far enough back.
It did not. The rope, the string gets pulled around that tree.
Oh, you're kidding.
And then
so
he's
right
hanging
at the line, and he got
like an inch OB.
Brutal. And doing the same thing, but in reverse. Oh wow, losing it in for a second.
Throwing the lefty forehand on the right hand.
Yep, as one does.
So Jake did not realize he was OB till he got up to it.
Oh, it's no fun.
A little bit upsetting.
Walking all the way up. Did he kick OB off that band?
No, the OB stretches out.
My goodness. Oh, that's right. It flares out by the basket.
Yeah, it stretches out to about just outside circle near the basket, so you can really give it a run here.
Yeah, that's good. Nice putt from James.
No, this is a little daunting putt down the hill.
Yeah, especially, roll away and the OB's not that far off. But your putts don't roll away, they go into the chains, so
that's right.
I don't know what we're worried about.
If you make the putt, it doesn't roll away.
Exactly. And Jake kicked back a little bit harder than I was expecting. I think he was, but settles in the basket nicely. And the Mountain Dew Rockstar cashes his as well.
That's the front nine. So
that's the front nine.
Yeah.
And remind me the format today. We're playing just one round of all 36 holes?
No. So let's just do the scores first. So Jake's starting off hot, 4 down. I'm coming in at 2 down. Not bad with that bogey.
No, not bad at all.
James struggling a little bit, +1, and Cam tied with me coming in at 2 down. Jake was doing really well until he got that bogey on that hole. So we're doing 2 rounds of 18. So we'll do the long bomber course first, which we're playing now.
Oh, so they've split it up into the 2 courses. Yeah,
and then this afternoon we'll reorganize and go play the Winding Woods. The 2 completely polar opposite courses.
Yeah, those courses play so different. It's so cool to have such a nice mix of holes all in one property. Love Winter Farms. I don't know where that 13-year-old voice crack just came from, but it's a great layout and a great course, and I enjoy playing it when I can.
So that was the front 9, probably the more open. It gets a little more wooded in the back 9 of this course, and then it gets open again. But
yeah, well, looking forward to it. We'll see you on the next one. I'm Galen Naidu Harris.
And I am Chris Brown.
Thanks for joining us.